Take me through game week as the starting quarterback at Baylor. How are you prepping from Sunday until Saturday
Yeah,
game
so
day?
Sunday, like the Sunday after game, we have that day off. I know some places like that'll be their like
Yeah.
practice day, and then they get Monday off. So we have Sunday off, kind of a chill day. I'll watch the previous game, get in the training room, get my whatever like scrapes, cuts, banged up a little bit, get
Yeah.
all that stuff right. And then Monday is like a walkthrough day. We practice in the morning, which is really nice. So you're able to wake up, and football is like the first thing you do. And so I really like that. And that's where you kind of like make the corrections from the previous game as a team. Kind of like get the soreness out too, walk through all the stuff. And then you start on the next opponent. Tuesday is a really long practice, where you do like, we call it competition Tuesday. That's where we're in full pads, are doing like the 7-on-7s, 1-on-1s, and then the team periods. And then we obviously introduce the next opponent, with the scout looks, and all that good stuff. And then I normally, like, depending on my class schedule, I have a lighter class schedule this semester because it's the semester I graduate. And so my classes, I don't have as many classes. And so I'll spend a lot of time like watching film, like watching my stuff.
Yeah.
I like to watch like games, like play one to like the end of the game. And then like watch certain cut ups that some of the guys will make too. And so that's what I like to do on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we'll work like the third downs. Same kind of practice format though, where it's like a longer practice. And then Thursday is like the red zone day. And with each one of those days, like I'm watching the film on that stuff, right? So like Wednesday is the third down cut up. Thursday is like the red zone cut
Yeah.
up, all that stuff. And then Friday is like a walkthrough day, and then Saturday you get ready to go.
I love it. What's the pregame routine like? Are you doing anything like superstitious? Are
I
you
don't have anything
okay?
super.
You're just ready to roll.
Yeah,
You're
I
just
will say I'm a
yeah.
guy like as far as like pregame music, like I listen to like more mellow stuff that's like will calm me down rather than like want some like beat my head against a door, like that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
I gotta be like relaxed, poised, ready to go.
It's funny to see the different types of quarterbacks. You know, you get like the ones that are all rah
Yeah,
rah, and then you get the some that like just don't want to talk to
yeah,
anybody, just like kind of sit in the
yeah,
corner and don't say a
yeah.
word. You
I'm
know?
probably more on game day. I'm probably more in like on that boat. Or
Yeah.
like I'll have like a normal conversation, right? Like if we go to breakfast that morning, like just talk about, whatever. If there's a game, if we play at night games, oh man, night games where you have to just sit around in the hotel all day, and wait.
No
At least
doubt.
you get to watch a little bit of college football, so that's nice. But then,
Yeah.
so yeah, no, I'm probably more mellow
Are you,
and quiet on game day.
um, what's a point in your career? I'll say this before I get into that. I talk a lot on this show and in all my content about overcoming
Yeah,
adversity. You know, we talk about you battling it out, and I've had adversity in my career. And I feel like anyone who's reached your level of success now, starting quarterback at one of the biggest schools in the country, like you faced some adversity in your career at some point. So at some point, something didn't go the way you
yeah,
wanted it to,
for
right?
sure,
What's the moment you feel like you faced the most adversity in your career, and how'd you overcome it?
man. Honestly, like a really like low point in my career was probably when Leach passed away, at Mississippi State, because it was like I'd gone out there really to play for him, and so
Mhm.
when he had passed away, he passed away suddenly. Nobody was expecting it. It was like,
Yeah,
okay, I'm here in Mississippi, pretty far away from home. Football hasn't gone. I haven't played a meaningful snap yet. And I remember I was in a pretty bad like headspace, just as far as like, I don't know if I was homesick. I wasn't playing well at all. Like even in practice, like the reps I was getting, wasn't playing well, wasn't throwing it well, all the stuff. And then that happens, and it's like, okay, like what am I doing? Like I just
yeah,
knew like my whole entire like life was gonna change, because I was like, like my whole reason for coming out here is now gone.
yeah,
And so it was kind of like, all right, like what next? And how I overcame that, honestly, like is my one. I'm very outspoken about my faith. And I think
hmm
like if you don't have like your identity or your foundation built in your faith, then like this game, this world, like this life is just gonna chew you up and spit you out. I mean, like football, baseball, like sports is just like they find unique ways to humble you, right? Whether you're like
Yeah.
a big time recruit coming out of high school, go and play, like you might not live up to your expectations, or maybe like you are playing really well and then you get injured. There's just so many different things that can happen. And if that's what your identity's in, I mean, it can be taken away. And so obviously my identity is built in my faith and what Jesus did. Because that's something that can't be taken away from me. And so like just trusting God's plan for my life throughout that time, and knowing that wherever he put me or wherever he has me or whatever he has me doing is better than whatever I could imagine. And so trusting that kind of got me through that hard time. And like I said, it led me to Baylor, and now here I am. So
yeah, I love the saying, "Football is what I do; it's not who I am."
Exactly.
And I feel like that's, to your point, having faith through all that gets you through some of those tough times, because it doesn't always go the way you want it to.
Yeah, exactly.
What's you talked a little bit about your family. What's a moment or a conversation with your family that you feel like has really helped you throughout your career?
Man, honestly, there's probably not a conversation, but I can say this about my mom and dad. My mom and dad have been to every single one of my games, and
like in life,
I probably don't tell them enough how much I appreciate that. But like, even as a freshman at Mississippi State, they're like without a like I would tell them, like, guys, like I didn't enroll early.
There is no shot I'm getting on the field.
I'm not gonna play. Like there is no chance I have it playing. And my mom and dad would get in that car and they drive 15 hours just about every week to go to the game. Whatever, for however long, a 4-hour game. Just because if there so happened to be that like 0.1% chance where everybody got hurt or whatever happened, they weren't gonna miss that. And so I just appreciate them so much for that. And I have an older brother. He's 18 months older than I am. So we grew up like twins. And so I always have him. He's good for me because he'll always humble me anytime I'm feeling good about myself.
You need that.
That older brother instinct just kicks in. And so he'll make a joke about me or just make fun of me or beat me in something. And I'm like, man, I'm not as good as I think I am. But yeah, it's honestly like just more of the actions and what they've done for me that mean so much more than honestly any conversation that I can remember.
Yeah, I feel like one of the coolest parts of the journey is you get to bring those people along with you. Like, and you get to, it's for them, like all those games they went to where you weren't playing to then now be able to go when you're the starting quarterback. Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they were probably a little more relaxed whenever I wasn't playing. Now they kind of have to like, it's a little more intense for them.
Not taking any sacks. Yeah, no doubt. What's the number one thing you've been working on this offseason that you wanted to really get better at or improve on before you start camp? Camp start next week?
Next week, yeah, pretty crazy, dude. I can't believe it's all already here. But there's actually a couple things. One, like more on the mental side, one more on the technical side. So on the mental side, just like working on different checks, right? So I got like certain looks last year where I would check into a certain play. I'm going to get those same coverages and same looks this year. And so just not being predictable and working different things with the receivers, working different checks, different signals, all that kind of stuff for the mental side. And then on the technical side, a lot of like lower half stuff. I feel like whenever I get myself into troubles when like I start like overstriding, all that stuff, kind of get long with my delivery, everything. And so just kind of like shortening my base up, and it shortens everything else up.
What is there a game you got circled on your calendar, the one you're most excited about? That's a bad question. I know you're going to say the first one.
Yeah, no,
you're going to say the first one.
except for the first one. I'll give you one other than the first one because obviously the first one's a big one. It's the first game. Honestly, like one that people probably aren't expecting. I'm really excited to play Utah. We play Utah at home this year. And the reason I'm excited for that game is I actually made my first start against Utah 2 years ago. It was the year we went 3-9, really rough year. That was my first career start, was against Utah. I threw 2 interceptions. We lost the game, didn't play well. And so I'm really excited for that one just because, it's kind of going to be a full circle moment for me. And I'm excited to kind of get my get back. That's
awesome. What do you want Baylor fans to understand about who Sawyer Robertson really is?
Man, honestly, like I care so much, not just about, the end result, whatever happens with my career or anything. I just care so much about like this season and winning, the group of guys we have in that locker room, the school, everything. And so, like I kind of was saying about that injury, I mean, I'm going to be out there and I'm going to give it my all. And I'm gonna get hit, bleed, whatever, do everything I can to win games. And I'm going to do it until a doctor pulls me off that field or until somebody says I can't go out there anymore. And so I'm just going to give everything I got. I care so much about, all the guys in the locker room, and just how we do this season. And so I'm so excited. Obviously we put in all the work, how the summer conditioning and workouts, all the off season stuff goes. And so it's actually finally time to play football. And so we're ready to roll.
Yeah. I talk a lot about sports business and NIL and things like that on this show. What's NIL like being the starting quarterback at Baylor? It's got to be decent, right?
I mean, absolutely. What's cool about it is like the opportunities that come with it. As far as like last year, I was able to do something with Yeti where I got every single guy on the team a cooler, and it's actually this tumbler right here. So I got to get everybody one of those. And then just doing other stuff throughout the community. So it just opens up a lot of doors to be able to kind of help other people out. And so that's what I think the coolest part of it is. And then obviously like it's changed the trajectory of my life just as far as like, because when I first got to college, NIL wasn't a thing. And so I've gotten to see like both sides of how it works. And so I'm super thankful for it. It's awesome, but it's cool because it allows you and enables you to help other people.